about the strides female entrepreneurs of color are making. Be inspired by their story and enlightened by their leadership, insight, and advice.
Welcome to She Leads Podcast, Leadership Empowerment for Women of Color. I'm your host, Nicole Walker, and this is Season 6, Episode 5, entitled Do the Work with Bea Dixon. Be sure to go to nicolewalker.net/blog to check out Bea's bio and learn more about her and her business. All right, Bea. So welcome to She Leads Podcast, Leadership Empowerment for Women of Color. We appreciate you joining us today. We're excited to learn about your journey and hear your insight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. All right, so let's get started by you telling us about your background professionally and what you currently do for those that may not know.
So my background professionally, I started my career out in pharmacy, and I did that for like 10 years. And I worked in every type. I worked in IV rooms. I worked in chemo labs. I worked in retail. I worked in hospitals. I did all kinds of stuff. So my experience was pretty vast. Then I thought about going to school to be a doctor, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know, you should really love that if you're going to do that. And I decided I didn't want to go that way. And then I went to work for Whole Foods, and I was like a salesperson, but then I was a merchandiser and a buyer. And then I left there to be a food broker. So my customer went from like you being my customer at Whole Foods to like Whole Foods being my customer.
Oh, wow.
And I represented like 100 brands. And then after that, I went to work at a startup for a kale chip company. And I was an area sales manager there. And then, but within those last, from Whole Foods to being a broker to working at the kale chip company. The kale chip company was my last job ever. I was also the CEO and co-founder of the Honey Pot Company, which is what a lot of people know me from at this point. And we are a plant-based feminine hygiene company that focuses on wellness around the vagina. So, you know, daily, monthly care, external washes, wipes, pads, tampons, those types of things.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So going right into our next question, like I feel like anybody can go to your website and find out that your idea for the Honey Pot Company came from an ancestor coming to you in your dreams. But
Yes.
Can you elaborate more on that story and kind of, you know, how you ended up where you are?
Yeah, I mean, you know, she came, she had been watching what I was going through. And she came to me one night in a dream and sat down. We were sitting down at a table talking. And she told me that this would, you know, she gave me a recipe, basically told me to read the paper. You know, she had been with me, right? So she knew that I had been a pharmacy tech. So I knew if she gave me the ingredients, I would figure out what to do, you know? And I read the ingredients. I remember when I woke up, I wrote them down, I made them. And then, you know, I just got to work after that. You know, I found women that would try it. We did that for like a year. Then people were ordering through email. Then we got into Whole Foods. We launched at the Bronner Brothers show. You know, we sold 600 bottles in a weekend. We got into Whole Foods. We got online. You know, and things just organically kept growing.
I love that. I love that. I think that's amazing, right? Because I am a big person as far as analyzing my dreams and believe in keeping a notebook right next to my bed. Because if I get out of the bed, I'll forget. But were you able to carry that memory with you, like, or did you have to write it down as soon as you got out of bed?
I wrote it down literally like the moment I woke up. I wrote it down.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a scroll back down memory lane. I kind of like to ask this question to see how everything fits together. Can you tell us what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I know that when I was young, like when I was in high school, I was in like the Future Business Leaders of America, and like I always had like a kind of an entrepreneurial mindset. So if I look back at those things, I would say in my mind, I thought that I would go into the world of business somehow, you know, but I don't remember. I wasn't the kid that like, it's like, oh, I'm going to get married one day and my dress is going to look like this and my thing. I wasn't that kid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay. And I was such a hustler. Like when I was a kid, my mom, I wanted to get my driving permit because I really wanted my license, but I was 15.
Okay.
And my mom was like, I was 14 going on 15, but I knew at 15 I could get my driving permit, right?
Okay.
So I went to my mom and I said, I want to get my driving permit. And she was like, that's cute. If you're going to do that, you got to go. And, you know, you're going to have to go to driving school. Driving school costs money. I don't have that. So you're going to have to get a job. And I was like, bet. I went and got a job at McDonald's like a couple days later, you know.
Okay.
So I was always that kind of kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Want more, do more.
Want more, do more. And my mom kind of made me that way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That reminds me of me and my daughter, you know, same situation. Like, you want this? Look, we don't necessarily have the means, so you better figure out a way.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's good for kids to like help them to understand like this is what it takes if you want. Like when groceries just magically appear, right? Kids aren't like, oh, mommy had to have a job and you know, and she had to like wake up and get us ready for school, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I think it's important. It was really important that she didn't just give to me, you know?
Okay. I like that. Mm-hmm. I agree, right? My daughter, she's in college. Well, I have two kids, big span. But anyway, my daughter's in college. And I remember one day she called me and she was like, Mom, thank you for the way you raised me, because some of these girls out here don't know how to do anything.
They don't know how to make it.
Nothing.
They don't know how to make it.
Yes.
At least I bet your baby knew how to cook. I bet she knew how to clean. She got to take care of herself.
Yes.
It's a thing, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about a pivotal point in your life and how it shaped who you are today.
Oh, wow. I won't go into detail, but I was at a point in my life where I was not happy, like at all. I don't want to say that I was like depressed with the air quotes.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy.
Okay.
And, you know, it showed in everything that I did. You know, it was like, I think when you're not happy, it just like comes out of your pores. Just like when you are happy, it comes out of your pores, right?
I agree.
And I was driving with my mom one day, and she was like, she calls me Nikki because my middle name is Nakia. Okay. And she was like, Nikki, you know, like you wasting your time being unhappy, like you know you're gonna die one day. You know? And she was like, she says, because she'll listen to an interview I did, because it changed my life. Like I have it like tattooed on my fingers, you know, like this is a L, this is an H, that's a T, this is a D, right? And that stands for learn how to die. Oh, you know, like my mom was like, you know, if you're gonna die, because everybody is, you really need to spend your time living. You don't have any moment within your life that you cannot be happy with your now, basically, right? Like, you know, everything is now here, right? So it's like, you know, that changed my life. And then soon after that, my brother introduced me to Stoicism. You know, soon after that, started reading like Don Miguel Ruiz. You know, I read a few of his books. Soon after that, I found Osho, you know, who changed my life. So I've been on a path where at first I was practicing being happy, but now it's not a practice anymore. I just am, you know. Yeah. That doesn't mean that bad moments don't happen, or you know, you don't get sad, or you don't come out of your square every now and again. You know, that's not what that means. But in general, I'm a very, very, very happy person.
Okay, thanks for that. I love that. That reminds me of one time I was in a class, and I think it was about leadership, and he had us do an exercise where he asked us, he said, if you, like, at your funeral, what do you want people to say about you? Or, like
Mhm.
that kind of thing, where it had me to think about the way I was living my life, like, well,
Mhm.
what are you doing and how do you want people to talk about you when you die? So that then
Right.
you have to make sure that you're living the way you want,
Right.
yourself to be viewed when you're no longer here. So
Right.
not the same, but it just reminded me of that. But
Yeah.
you talked about something that I don't have much knowledge on. Can you elaborate on what stoicism is?
Stoicism is it's basically the understanding, that when you hear people being stoic, like Marcus Aurelius practiced stoicism, a lot
Okay.
of the like Greek philosophers
Okay.
and Roman philosophers practice stoicism. And I'm sure that there's some African roots within that as well. But basically that practice is the understanding what you can control
Oh,
and
okay.
what you cannot control.
Okay.
And also understanding that you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
And understanding that being present is really the only thing that you can be, because that's the only place that you always are,
Yeah.
right? You're always just presently in whatever the moment is, right? Like, I'm only presently in this moment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what else could I do right now other than this? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Completely.
And so it's understanding that, you know, so a lot of stoic books will focus on like maybe quotes around being able to be present, being able to be here right now, being able to respect the premise of the fact that we're all going to die at any moment, not to be morbid. And so that can be very grounding, even in a moment like what our constant world is dealing with right now, and using this time, because the world is shut down,
Mm.
where you're at home and your kids are home and your husband's home, or your wife, or or you just home by yourself, you know, or your partner or whatever, or your friends, whatever, but really using this time to just be here and be happy with your here, and use this time to understand where your life is, and if you're happy with that, and if you're not, what are you doing? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I love
yeah.
that. Yeah. So I understand that premise. I didn't know the title for it. So thanks for going into that. And I think that's so timely, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
everyone's so in uproar, and
Mm-hmm.
worried about something that's beyond our control, which, like you said, the
Mm-hmm.
only thing we can control is this present moment and being
Right.
present in the moment.
And even in that doesn't require your control.
Yeah.
It's just the control over your choice of if you're going to be or if you're not. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Mhm.
All right. So tell us about what you're currently doing to improve yourself personally and or professionally.
A lot of what we just talked about, being patient, taking care of myself, like eating well, taking my vitamins, cooking, drinking water, being a good human, loving myself, so therefore loving everything around me,
Mm.
and gratifying what I want to do, and not repressing. That's a big thing for me right now. And then with the business, it's just showing up. Everybody on our team is kicking in on everything right now. Anything that needs help, everybody's scrambling to make sure that we get things done, because things are really crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
All right. I like that. I think we make things a lot harder than it has to be, because your
Mhm.
answers were to me very simple, but yet, we make things so complicated and so much bigger than it has to be, like patience, like drinking water, like those simple things that are often overlooked.
It's not easy to like live in the world and work hard not to be of it. That's really hard to do, actually. Yes, these are all very simple things. But if you haven't conditioned yourself to be okay with those things will be remarkably hard for you to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's really easy to do.
Yeah. Thanks for
Mhm.
that. I agree. It's a
Mhm.
simple idea, but yet the practice
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
practice is not as simple. Yeah.
Yeah, especially until it's not practice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So tell us about the last book you read or listened to and what it was all about.
I'm listening to right now. I've already listened to it. The last two books that I read, I'm still listening to.
Okay.
It's like if you watched a really good movie, you're like, I want to watch that again,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to see if I missed anything. But I'm listening to Osho. It's like a 21-day meditation thing.
Okay.
And I'm not necessarily listening. I listened to it the last time over 21 days. Now I'm just listening to it like I'm waking up to that.
Okay.
And then I'm listening to Osho, The Secret of Secrets.
Mm.
So I'm listening to two Osho books right now.
Okay. So
Yep.
do you practice meditation daily or throughout your day? Tell us more about your interest in meditation.
I meditate, but I don't think in the way that most people think of meditation.
Okay.
I was like actively practicing to meditate, where I like actively sat down, got quiet, went in.
Okay.
But that didn't feel authentic to me. It felt like I was trying to do something just for the sake of doing it.
Okay.
Then all of this happened. So now I'm just like in a space by myself. So now I'm more so like being more conscious of my now.
Mm.
And that is a form of meditation to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tell me more.
not like I do have moments where I'll go in and out and I'll meditate, but I do it when I want to.
Okay.
Naturally. But that's just where I am right now. Sometimes I may practice on a daily basis 15 minutes, you know. But what I've learned is that meditation is more about letting your brain do what it does and you not judging what your brain is doing or thinking or saying or reacting to or whatever. So I guess I'm practicing or doing a raw form of meditation where I'm just letting my brain think what it thinks and do what it does, and I'm working to not judge those thoughts or those reactions, or but to just really be okay with whatever it is.
And I've heard that before, so I get it. I just have a question. I guess for me, it's like, do you try to understand or do you just let it be? You just let it be.
I'm letting it be. I don't need to try to understand.
Okay.
I'm not trying to rationalize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm really okay with where I am right now, right? So, I could be being quiet or listening to music or reading or cooking or rolling a joint or doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I just try to be real conscious in doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm cooking, I'm conscious of cooking. I'm working to not be anywhere else but in my food, making what I'm making, right? If I'm reading, then I'm listening to a book. I'm not trying to do nothing else,
Okay.
So it's more so of me just being really conscious in my moments and not being all over the place while being in a moment in my mind.
Okay. I like that. So going back to the now, and
Yeah.
like you said, yeah. So it's all going full circle. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Okay. So tell us about an aha moment that you had lately and how you've changed as a result.
I'm going through something right now with another person that I can't control. And for so long, I won't go into details, but I was really upset to be in the situation. I was really upset that I was even having to deal with this, that, this person would even do this, because from my point of view, I thought that I was really good to that person, But then I realized that I was complicit in all of it. If I was good to them, it was because I chose to be. If I did for them, it was because I chose to. Right. And the moment that I'm in right now, where I'm having to do things that I wouldn't necessarily sign up for. Like nobody can sign up for it, right? But it's like, we're here now. So yeah, I can choose to be upset. I might still be a little salty, like there's a little salt on it, but I'm in a different place than I was a month ago.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to let that thing bring me down over something that might just make me feel a little uncomfortable. So I think that was my aha moment. Like, that doesn't have to ruin you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody died. You have what you need in order to live.
That makes me think, like, the premise we would want to hope for, right, is to be unconditional, but we're human. And sometimes, like, if we treat a person however we expect to be treated the same, right, when, we shouldn't have expectations. Does that make you want to change the way you are?
If anything, it takes more of my inhibitions away. It makes me want to live an even better, more unlimited lifestyle, because I did what I did because I felt that I needed to do it in those moments, right? And I don't ever want to stop being that way, because I want to really enjoy my moments. And I want to, and all it does is make me conscious that that I should do what I want to do, but I have to be okay with either side, the good or the bad. I have to live neutral inside of it. And so, so as long as I can live there, I'm Gucci,
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, right? We can only control ourselves, right? And it's easy to allow ourselves to be swayed when things don't necessarily go the way we want to. But, it's more powerful to continue to be ourselves and just accept people where they are and not allow that to change us.
You got to accept people where they are. You can't change people.
I agree. So do you believe in the value of higher education and or training, and tell us why or why not?
That's hard for me. For me, no. I think if our school system was set up different, maybe. I did not like school.
Okay.
I started my pre-med, but then I was like, I hate this. I do not do things that I don't believe in. I do not do things that I don't want to do. I just do not do it. I can't. I will not be good at it. So for me, no, I don't believe in it because I don't believe in it. You understand what I'm saying? And if I attempt to do anything I don't fucking believe in, I'm not going to do it well. I'm not going to do it well. So no, I don't. I'm really fortunate in my life, and not even when people hear that, their first thought is money. That's not why I'm fortunate. That doesn't mean anything more than what it means. But I'm fortunate because I get to do what I want to do and live while I'm doing it and eat off of it and pay my bills on it and put clothes on my back and help my mama, and you know what I mean? And employ other people, right? But I do that well because I do it well and I believe in it and I want to do it. To me, that means everything. Do I want to do it? Yes. Okay, this is what we're doing then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
important.
It is important. I agree. Because like you said, if you don't want to, it's going to show up.
It's going to show up.
I agree. All right. So, can you tell us how you stay on the cutting edge in your field and with your business?
Recently, we've been relevant because we had some viral activity happen, which was crazy. But that wasn't necessarily our doing.
Okay.
I try to show up for what we're doing, right? Like, even before that viral activity happened, I will take every press call. I will sit on any panel. I'll do whatever it takes to get the name of our brand out, even if I'm only talking to 10 people. Okay. You know what I mean? I'll get on every podcast. I don't discriminate based on the size of the podcast. I really want to spread the word. I really want people to know what we're doing. And I really want people to potentially experience what I've been able to experience with our products and what so many other women have been able to experience with our products. So I think that's the way.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Show up.
Yeah, just show up, man. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes. Okay. So, do you have a recommended resource to share with entrepreneurs and tell us how you utilize the resource?
I think professionally, one of the biggest resources we've had is we've hired the right team, right? I think the other thing is we've used, like, for retail, getting into retail, we've hired the right brokers.
Okay.
Um, because a lot of times people don't know if you want to get into a specific retailer, especially if there hasn't been a connection yet. You want to have a little bit of money before you think about going to retail or have access to money. Because typically what you'll do is you'll hire a broker that has a relationship with that retailer specifically. They typically have like monthly meetings with those retailers or quarterly meetings with those retailers. And then, you use that relationship in order to get your way into a store. Another professional resource, if you're not ready for stores, there's like, using Shopify or using Squarespace are huge. Using companies like 99 Design are huge because those are companies you can go to that can build you a website, and it's not like hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit. It may cost you between two and like tens of thousands of dollars, but you can get any type of website in the middle of that, right? Like you can get you a $2,000 website if you want it, right? Or you can get a higher price one. But the point is that that's a good place to go when you're just at the beginning. Using Amazon is huge, especially if you want to go into retail, because every retailer that you're going to sit down with is going to say, "Are you on Amazon? If so, what are your numbers like?" Amazon is a very respected retailer, even though they're online and it's a retail marketplace. It's still a retailer.
Okay.
Personally, I listen to a lot of books and I gratify myself. Those are some resources.
And that's good. Now, you talked about hiring the right team and the right broker. And I think I heard you answer the question as far as the broker, making sure they have relationships with the different retailers that you're interested in. But can you elaborate on, like, what do you use to determine who's right for you?
That changes over time because every level that your business goes to, not that there's levels, but based on where your business is, that kind of tells you who you need to hire, right? If you're a company like ours and you're going into, you're getting into a lot of retail and those types of things, you want to make sure that you have the right sales team, right? So having the right sales team means having the right president or the right vice president of sales that has had experience in building and working with those retailers, right? So that the way to find those people is those people typically work for startups, like the company I worked for, Rhythm Superfoods. The person that's my president of sales now used to be my boss at Rhythm Superfoods. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like she's got like 20 years experience, Kelly. She has 20 years experience in sales. That's who you hire to run your sales team. You understand? You don't hire your uncle who may have worked, in a couple, you know what I mean? Like you hire like people that have fucking legitimately held down that position and have legitimately gotten brands into stores and those brands have stayed on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you need supply chain team, right? So that the person that runs supply chain at the top level has got 40 years experience in supply chain, right? Can read a trade spin document in like a second. Some of the team has just kind of has just moved into different departments because they've been here for a long time, but I think the biggest thing is you just have to make sure that the people that you hire have the experience to be able to do the job. You don't, especially if you're paying them well, you really can't afford, and you have to pay them well because you really can't afford to have people running your sales team or people running your supply chain, and they're still having to figure out how they're going to eat. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good advice. Thanks. Yeah, we don't want disgruntled people, right? Because they're not going to do a good job. All right.
That's why when you raise money with investors, they want to make sure that you at least can have like a living wage. Because an investor doesn't want you worried about how you're going to fuck. If you're worried about how you're going to eat, you're not going to perform well. You know? So I think that's another practice that you need to have in your mind, is understanding the power of paying people decently so that they can eat.
Great points. All right. So do you have any advice for an up and coming entrepreneur that you like to share?
I think my biggest piece of advice is like, whatever you decide to do, just make sure you do it well. You know?
Yeah.
And if it's a product, you know, I say this all the time when people ask me, if it's a product, make sure the product works. If it's skincare, make sure it does a beautiful job. If it's food, make sure it tastes like heaven, you know? And start off with one thing and get good at that thing, and understand how to grow and scale that thing, even if that thing has a couple different flavors, but it's the same thing, right? Don't think you have to take on the world all at once. Like, you can just start with one thing. You can build a really cute Squarespace site. You know, you can go on Shopify. You can go on, you know, there's ways to do it well and promote it well, and use Instagram ads and Facebook ads and things like that. You don't have to necessarily be spending a bunch of money on Google and all those things. There's ways to do it, and do it simply and do it lean. And don't think that you have to raise money straight away. Don't raise money till you got a real reason to, you know? And don't quit your fucking job because you started your business. If your business can't pay you what your job paid you, put it this way: if your job ain't paying you enough and you still trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? And then you start a business and you think that it's intelligent to quit your job that wasn't paying you well anyway, then to just go focus on your business that may not be paying you shit. Work your ass off, run your business and have a job, because when you get your own business and once it scales, that is your life. It is like you got 10 jobs, because you have to do whatever it takes to get it from nothing to something. So you really want that practice of having to hold down a job and having to run your business and having to feed your family. Use that shit as practice, because that's what having a business that's making money that can help you survive and at least one other human survive, that's what the shit is like. It's hard. It's so hard. And, you know, like I'm working from home right now. All of us are, right? But like, I'm working all day. I'm like doing 4 or 5 of these a day, you know, in emails, talking to lawyers, all kinds of shit is happening in a day. So I could be working for 12 hours. You know what I mean? And that's a normal work day for me. And if you want to throw some more in there, I typically am living on at least 3 to 4 airplanes a week, and helping the team, running the team, understanding ops, working on new products. Like, so my work week can be like 70, 80 hours of a week. At this point, it doesn't feel like work anymore, right? I barely get a fucking vacation, but sometimes I do. I'm at least going somewhere to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, that's my point. Like, it's hard to do. And it really, you think people's mind is, some people are like, I really need the uncomfortability of not having a job so that I can like so I can find the money. But if you come off of just working a 9 to 5 to doing that shit, that's not easy to do, because you're used to somebody paying you a paycheck, right? And you may win, you may start doing well, but like some shit like this could happen. Let this be, if this is an example for anything, let this be an example of why it's important to have multiple streams of revenue.
Okay.
Especially if you're like a Genesis startup, like you're just starting up, you know? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look, if that didn't help anyone, it helped me because I go through, I'm still in corporate and they work my last nerve. And I'm like, oh, I could be better off with this.
Seems like the grass is greener, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not greener, sister. The shit's the same color on both sides.
Yeah. That
Shit
reminds me
is,
of, I saw a meme that talks about the entrepreneur life, and it has like, it goes up, in between, down, just showing of how up and down it can be. And just for what we're
it
going
is.
now is a key indicator of that. Yeah.
This is a key indicator. Be appreciative for what you have, whatever you have, because guess what? There's somebody who does not have that. So, a good way to pay respect to the people that are losing everything is to really respect when you have something, even if it's not ideal, at least you got it.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Thanks for that. So we're coming up on the end. Do you have a favorite quote? And if so, can you share it with us?
It's in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish well. Recuerde respirar. Remember to breathe. It's tattooed on me.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. That's funny. My aunt used to tell me this. I tell it with my daughter where when I'm upset, like I'll just go a mile a minute talking about something. And my aunt was like, do you know that you did not breathe not one time, and then I see my daughter doing it where, life, like again, this situation can have you up, down, and across, but like you said, remember to breathe.
Just remember, you know what? Remember that there's only here and now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got right here, right now. You don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Right. So like, even though shit may feel terrible, you may be in a bad situation, if you can just breathe for a second and just get real present, you would know that like things could be worse, even if they're awful. If it's something that's terrible, guess what? It's here now, right? So you got to just like figure out what you need to do to get through it, and don't let it keep you down, because even if it happened 5 minutes ago, it's in the past. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really, really being able to like be here for that, even if you have a moment where you make yourself feel shame or guilt, or like, why the fuck did I say that? Or why did I do that? You already did it. So what? Just die to it.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to tell myself that shit all the time. Die to it, it's done.
All right. Well, we're coming up on the end. Can you tell us where your last vacation was, what your favorite vacation spot is, and where your next vacation would be?
Last year, I went to Lisbon and I went to the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands, that experience where we were was the best place that I've ever vacationed, because the shit was ridiculous. It was like, they upgraded our room and it was insane. It was crazy. My favorite place in the world is New York City. I love New York. But when I'm talking about like a holiday spot, Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah.
All right. And where are you going next?
I don't know. I got to get through quite a bit of things. The world is a little on fire right now, so I think it's gonna take a few months, but I'm going somewhere though in a few months. I don't know where yet, but I will.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I like to ask these questions to inspire people to think about travel. I love travel. I think travel is so enriching, so. All right. So before we go, do you have any events or offers, or, well, no events now, but any offers, or you want to tell the listeners where to find your products, your website, social media, anything like that?
Yeah, you can find us on social media at The Honey Pot Co. You can find me on social media at I am Bea Dixon, BEADIXON. You can find our products on thehoneypot.co. We're a little sold out right now, but we still do have some products. So you just, keep looking at it every day, because we have kind of rolling restocks happening. If you want to figure out the stores we're in, you can go to our store locator, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you everywhere we are.
All right. Well, thanks again, B. We appreciate you
Thank
talking with
you.
us today, and we
Thank
enjoyed
you.
hearing about you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, you too.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of She Leads Podcast, Leadership Empowerment for Women of Color. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please be sure to go to our Facebook page at She Leads Podcast to like or follow us. And also let us know if this episode of She Leads Podcast inspired you by leaving us a comment under the post for Season 6, Episode 5. Thanks. Until next time, be empowered and empower on.